What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. There are a couple stories today, maybe, I don't know, six or seven. There's so much going on. I'm trying to bring some variety to you. I know there's like these 2 to 3 Elon videos a day, but there's just so much going on there and things are so fluid. I think it's worth putting in the time. If you're appreciating my videos, please take a second to click that red subscribe button down below if you're on YouTube. If you're on another platform, whether it be Rumble, BitChute, or Minds, or Odyssey, please do consider subscribing there as well. Now, a couple stories this morning broke where Elon Musk apparently has named the new CEO of Twitter or who the new CEO of Twitter will be. And Twitter employees must absolutely be losing their minds. They must absolutely be shaking in their boots. They probably need a change of their undergarments. Well, while they're changing them, maybe they want to consider a different kind. Maybe a sweet new pair from Sheath. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pin comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. Hey, I know it's a weird thing to kind of think about, fellas, but give them a try. I bet you'll like them, and if you don't, well, then, it's not a big risk. Elon Musk now expected to serve as the temporary Twitter CEO after the deal closes. Now, this is a little change. A few days ago, there was reported that Elon knew who he was going to install as CEO. Maybe that person was going to be himself. Elon Musk is expected to serve as temporary CEO of Twitter for a few months after he completes his $44 billion takeover of the social media company. An SEC filing on Thursday revealed that Musk secured approximately $7.14 billion in equity commitments from friends and other investors to buy Twitter. Faber said that Musk hand-picked the investors. Commitments range from $1 billion from Oracle co-founder Larry Ellison to $5 million from Honeycomb Asset Management, which invested in SpaceX. Faber added that the Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey may even back it, and Musk is talking to him about the possibility of contributing shares immediately or prior to the closing of the merger. Could you imagine that? Elon bringing Jack back into the fold? Like, I don't like, what? I mean, what kind of, essentially, like, you have this situation where now it's like old Twitter. Now, I don't think I'm ready to celebrate, Jack being back, because he was behind a lot of the censorious action early on. He was behind a lot of the shenanigans that we didn't like in the first place. But he seems to have changed a little bit. Once the deal closes, we don't know which direction the platform will go, the CEO, Agrawal, reportedly said when asked whether the company would allow former President Donald Trump to return to the platform when Musk takes over. Let me give you an answer. They will. Musk's acquisition of Twitter comes at a key time for the company, where Parag Agrawal said that he would be focusing on growing Twitter's daily active user base and bringing new products to the customers. Well, I would think the single biggest thing bringing users back to Twitter was Elon Musk buying it. Now, the gold rush has somewhat stemmed a little bit. There was a time where even my kind of small Twitter channel or Twitter feed was gaining thousands of followers a day. That's definitely kind of backing off now. Of course, this meme where I'll play it. I want to make sure I can give credit to the person who did it, because it's from Dre Fanzo, but it kind of fits.
And move you downstairs into storage. storage B.
No,
We
I was told I could
have
not.
some new people
If,
coming in,
no,
and we need all the
there's,
space we can get.
but there's no space.
So if you could
in
just go ahead and
if
pack up your
it,
stuff
Uh-huh.
it,
and move it down
Yep.
there,
but no,
that would be
but
terrific.
I was
Yeah. Great. One of my all-time favorite movies. Like, not even close. Probably my top 3. And it's hard for a comedy to kind of have that impact, but it was just one of those things. It's like a record that comes along at the right time in your life, and it just kind of, maybe it doesn't stand alone. Like, I mean, like, Blink-182's Enema of the State is not exactly a masterpiece, probably, as you would describe, musically. But because of where I was in life and just how huge that record was at the time, like, it's always going to be in my top 10. Every song's like, in my head, ingrained deeply. But even like on Twitter, you can see I'm still gaining. Like, when the craziness happened, I gained 2,000, 5,000, 4,000, 1,500, thousands and thousands. In the last 30 days, I've gained 46,000 followers on Twitter. That's actually amazing. Now it's tamed off. It's stemmed off a little bit to, quote unquote, only 1,000. But this is an account that, I was normally gaining, you could see, about 2,000 followers a month. I mean, like, less than 100 followers a day, then 40,000. That's so Elon did that. Certainly the Twitter employees have to be having absolute panic attacks today on this news, because now if you're going to say that I'm going to be the temporary CEO when I take over, what are you saying? I mean, you're confirming that you're firing Parag Agrawal, right? Or at least demoting him. You're not having two CEOs, although I suppose you could have co-CEOs, but Elon Musk does not strike me as a co-CEO type of person. This on top of news that Elon said he plans taking Twitter public again later. Tesla chief said he could stage IPO within 3 years of acquisition. I mean, if that was part of his plan all along, it's actually super genius. Although I'm not sure you would get the same investment. I'm not sure. Maybe you could do it. You could, I'm not an investment person, but there are different ways that you could take money on. People have asked me, how do I invest in coffeebrandcoffee.com? I say, just buy a bag. Start there. Use promo code TheQuartering. Save some money. Or subscribe and save even more money. See if you like the stuff first. Mr. Musk says he plans to stage an initial public offering of Twitter in as little as 3 years after buying it, according to people familiar with the matter. The deal is expected to close later this year, subject to conditions, including the approval of Twitter shareholders and regulators, the company said. Mr. Musk, the Tesla chief, had been speaking to investors such as private equity firms, which could help lower the $21 billion he plans to kick in to help pay for the deal. The rest of the money coming in from loans. One firm is considering participation as Apollo Global Management, which we now know did, the Wall Street Journal has reported. Private equity firms often take companies private with an eye towards, quote, fixing them up outside of the spotlight and then taking them public again within 5 years or so. Mr. Musk signals that he plans to do something similar, which could help assure potential investors that he would work quickly to improve Twitter's business operations and profitability. One of the big things Elon has to do is, of course, have Twitter make money. Ad buys on Twitter are difficult because, look, I run an ad agency, less nowadays than I used to, but, I've definitely spent, I don't know, millions minimum on Twitter alone for clients. And the conversion rates are always garbage. If you want to promote a movie, or you want to promote a consumable good, or you want brand awareness, Twitter is great for that. But direct action to go buy something is far better on places like Instagram than Twitter, or far better on Facebook than they are on Twitter. And I'm not sure that changes without a fundamental change to the way that people actually use Twitter. So he could be viewing it. He could be looking at that, figuring out how he's going to, generate more revenue, whether it's charging for premium services. I think you'd be surprised if he adds in a value, what people are willing to pay for. You can have a base level of Twitter, but if you can have a product where 20% of the people are paying you, $5 a month, that's a lot of dimp. That's what they have, 200 million users. So, 40 million people paying $5 a month. That's not a little bit of money. You can also find other ways to gamify, you know, build in, heck, what if he built in like crypto stuff and he built in, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. He could definitely do stuff like that. You know, especially as a temporary CEO. And now that he got $7 billion in fresh financing from a Saudi prince, Larry Ellison and Bitcoin and a Bitcoin exchange are among a group of 19 investors who are committing more than $7 billion back to Tesla's bid for Twitter. I'm a little concerned who's getting money in here, and I hope that they don't have too big of a share. But as long as Elon's in charge, I have faith in it. And, you know, my heart goes out to the many panic attacks and day of quiets, day of recoveries that Twitter's going to have after hearing today that, yep, Elon will in fact be their boss. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you check out the video sponsor, Sheath. At least check out their website. Consider giving them a try. I know it's weird to think about changing what kind of, you know, undergarments you wear, but, you know, you're probably a lot older now than when you chose those boxers that you're wearing or whatever, and you want a little more support, a little more comfort. I'd say give them a try. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.